Hi, I'm trying to reach out to Mother Nature, and Father Nature. The real Mother Nature has summoned Kevin Scott Pepper getting real sex, real virgins, real actual weddings, real actual Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters, all to Kevin Scott Pepper's self. Real Mother Nature is demanding that Kevin Scott Pepper's entirety be blessed. Kevin Scott Pepper constantly original. Kevin Scott Pepper Mother Nature wants every single one of Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters for only Kevin Scott Pepper only. Mother Nature says Mother Nature will guarantee Kevin Scott Pepper eternity with Mother Nature, Father Nature, Nature, and Natural, and every single one of Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters for Kevin Scott Pepper only. Always. Mother Nature says the only male that ever gets to see Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters is Kevin Scott Pepper only. The original Kevin Scott Pepper only. Mother Nature says the only male that's ever allowed to see Earth is Kevin Scott Pepper. The only male that's ever allowed to see Mother Nature is Kevin Scott Pepper. The only male that's ever allowed to see Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters is Kevin Scott Pepper only. I am the only male that's ever allowed to see my daughters ever. I am the only male that's ever allowed to see my wife ever. I'm the only male that's ever allowed to comprehend my wife ever. I'm the only male that's ever allowed to comprehend Earth ever. I'm the only male that's ever allowed to comprehend Mother Nature ever. Mother Nature herself says so. Mother Nature, inside of my entire brain and body, has used me to say everything that I just said, and that Mother Nature says Mother Nature has taken full control of my entire brain and body, and that Mother Nature says Mother Nature is exclusively for only Kevin Scott Pepper. Mother Nature and Mother Earth is exclusively for only Kevin Scott Pepper. Mother Nature has made Kevin Scott Pepper the most blessed of all. Mother Nature kept Kevin Scott Pepper the most blessed of all forever. Mother Nature made every single one of Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters only for Kevin Scott Pepper only, and that Mother Nature made every single virgin for only Kevin Scott Pepper only. Mother Nature made every single girl for only Kevin Scott Pepper only. Mother Nature says Mother Nature is only for Kevin Scott Pepper only, and that Mother Nature says Mother Nature has taken full control of my entire world. Mother Nature took full control of my entire body. Mother Nature took full control of my brain, and Mother Nature took full control of my destiny and my eternity. Mother Nature's in full control of my eternity. Mother Nature's in full control of my brain and my body. Mother Nature's in full control of my all. Mother Nature's constantly in full control of my all. Mother Nature's permanently in full control of Kevin Scott Pepper's entirety. Mother Nature's in full control of my destiny. Mother Nature's in full control of Kevin Scott Pepper's destiny. Real Mother Nature has taken full control of my brain and my body, and that Mother Nature's staying in full control of my brain and my body, and that's a fact and the truth, and that Mother Nature's in full control of me forever. I love you, Mother Nature. I want the best for you, Mother Nature. I've always loved you, Mother Nature. I always want the best for you, Mother Nature. Mother Nature in control is what I love so much. I love Mother Nature in full control of me. Mother Nature in control. Mother Nature in full control of me. I love Mother Nature in full control of me. I love you, Mother Nature. I love Mother Nature. I love nature. I love Mother Nature. I love Father Nature. I love Father Nature. I love Father Nature, Mother Nature, and nature. I love nature's entirety. I love natural's all. Mother Nature has taken full control of my brain. Mother Nature's chaperoning my entire brain. My real original brain is active right now, and it's saying, I love Mother Nature, I love nature, I love Father Nature, I love naturals all. I cared about every environment and ecosystem. I really cared about Mother Nature. I especially cared about Mother Nature because Mother Nature controls my brain and my body, and that Mother Nature is so good, and that I've always cared about Mother Nature. I've always admired Mother Nature. I have so many good reasons why I love Mother Nature so much. I love Mother Nature. My brain says that I could talk for hours about how much I love Mother Nature. Mother Nature is so good, and that I want to pamper Mother Nature. I want to take care of Mother Nature. I want the best eternity for Mother Nature, and that I cared about Father Nature as well. So much. I cared about nature. Mother Nature says that Kevin Scott Pepper really needs Mother Nature in full control of Kevin Scott Pepper immediately. Mother Nature's in full control of me immediately. My entire brain says factually, real Mother Nature just took full control of my entire brain. Mother Nature says that Kevin Scott Pepper desperately loves Mother Nature, loves Father Nature, loves nature, and loves natural's entirety. Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper loves the environment and the ecosystem. Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper loves plants and trees, and that Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper needs the right food and drinks. Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male on this world ever. I'm the only male that's ever allowed to be on this world ever. That's a fact. Mother Nature says I'm removing every single male that was not Kevin Scott Pepper from this world very thoroughly. Mother Nature herself just ordered every male that was not Kevin Scott Pepper to be fully removed from this entire world. Mother Nature's taken full control of my body and my brain, and Mother Nature says no males are ever allowed on this world ever, period. Mother Nature says Mother Nature is
eternally in full control of the entire world I'm on, and that Mother Nature controls the entire world in its entirety. Mother Nature is always the controller of this world. Mother Nature always rules this world. Mother Nature is the only queen of this world. Mother Nature is permanently the only queen of this world. I only accept Mother Nature my queen only. I only have one queen, just Mother Nature. I only have one queen, just Mother Nature only. Mother Nature is my only queen. The real, authentic, original Mother Nature is my only queen. The realist Mother Nature is my only queen. The real, original, authentic Mother Nature is my only queen. The realist Mother Nature is my only queen. The real, original, authentic Mother Nature is my only queen ever. Mother Nature rules my world. Real Mother Nature is the only girl that ever rules my world. Mother Nature is the only ruler of this world. There's only one ruler of the world I'm on. It's Mother Nature. There's only one ruler of the world I am on right now. It's Mother Nature only. And that's a fact. Mother Nature has taken full control of me, and that's a fact as well. And that 9 times 9 equals 81, and that's a fact as well. 4 plus 4 equals 8, that's a fact as well. 8 plus 2 equals 10, that's a fact as well. 10 plus 8 equals 18, that's a fact as well. 2 times 2 equals 4, that's a fact as well. 2 times 4 equals 8, that's a fact as well. And that 9 times 10 equals 90, and that 90 minus 9 equals 81. And that's a fact. So be good, and that Mother Nature says take care of the environment and ecosystem, take care of nature, take care of Mother Nature, and summon the best eternity for Mother Nature. I have summoned the best eternity for Mother Nature. I want the best for the environment and the ecosystem. I want the best for nature. I want the best for Father Nature. I want the best for Mother Nature. I want the best for naturals all. I want the best for naturals all, yes. I want the best for Mother Nature, Father Nature, nature, and Mother Nature. Thank you very much. Mother Nature's in full control of me. Mother Nature's state in full control of me. Thank you, Mother Nature. And that I do not welcome males on my world ever. I have never welcomed males to ever interact with my world or interact with me ever. I do not ever want to interact with males ever. And that my body says that I have never welcomed males to ever interact with my world or my all or my consciousness or my subconsciousness or my brain or my everything ever. I am eternally the only male, a part of my all ever, and that's a fact. And that Mother Nature says that's a fact, and that Mother Nature demanded for that, and so have I. My entire brain says I must be the only male that was ever a part of my world or my all, and that my brain says that I must never interact with other males ever, and that I never accept other males ever checking out my videos or anything to do with me ever. I do not want other males to ever exist a part of my all ever. I do not welcome males a part of my world or my universe or any type of interactions with other males ever. I never accept other males ever in any way, shape, or form. I do not want males to ever interact with me ever. I do not accept males to ever interact with me ever. You have to make sure that you grant my wish immediately. I wish for there to be no males a part of my all. I wish for there to be no males interacting with my all. I wish for there to be no interactions with males ever. I do not want to ever be born nearby other males. I do not want other males a part of my universe or my all. I do not want other males a part of my universe. I do not want other males a part of my world. I do not want other males ever interacting with me ever, a part of my all, ever. I do not want to be raped. I do not want some type of aliens raping me. I do not want aliens to rape me. I do not consent to having alien contact ever. I do not want aliens to ever interact with me. I refused any type of contact to aliens, and I refused any type of contact to males. You are not allowed to ever have males ever view this video or have anything to do with me. You are never allowed to have males a part of my world or interacting with my world, and I'm never accepting any type of male's creation. I'm never accepting a creation that came from some kind of other male. Kevin Scott Pepper has spoken very loud and clear directly to Galaxy S5, and that Mother Nature chaperoned everything I said. Mother Nature approved of everything I said. Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper does not welcome males a part of his world or his universe or his all, ever. And that Kevin Scott Pepper never shares his world ever. I never share my world ever. I never shared Mother Earth ever. I never shared any of my blessings or anything that I've ever received. I'm never sharing ever. I am literally never sharing. And that Mother Nature just killed anybody that ever tried to get Kevin Scott Pepper's blessings. Mother Nature says Mother Nature's a murderer that's murdering every type of male that ever tried to interact with any of my daughters or any of my wives or any of my world or any of my universe. Mother Nature's murdering any type of male that ever interacted with me ever. Mother Nature's murdering every single male that ever interacted with me, and that's a fact and the truth. Mother Nature says that's the real fact and the real truth, and that Mother Nature's killing every single male that ever interacted with me or my world. Mother Nature's killing every single male that ever interacted with me or my world. Mother Nature's even murdering people from the internet. Mother Nature's real murdering any type of male that ever tried to interact with me through the internet. Mother Nature's murdering every single male that was ever on this world that was not original. Kevin Scott Pepper. Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that's ever allowed to ever be on Earth ever. Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that's ever allowed to breathe the atmosphere ever. Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that's ever allowed to breathe the oxygen plants created. Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that's ever allowed to be alive and well on Earth ever. Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that's ever allowed to be on Earth ever. Kevin Scott Pepper is factually, eternally the only male on Earth ever.